Right, check it. Three aces. Nice, but nicer. Full house.
Ooh.
Nice.
Royal flush. I got nothing.
Oh, I was like, good gracious, ass bodacious, flirtatious.
What's going on? Get back to bed.
Feel young again. Centrum Silver.
Just wanted to show you guys a picture to see what I look like. That's me on the left. I'm giving a plaque for the ceremonial first moves. In the center is Deb Preston, Broome County Executive, and on the right is Rich David, Binghamton Mayor. They came down. I invited them and they're gracious enough to come. And that's from my 5th annual Broome County Championship Francis Cordisco Memorial. Hi folks, John Cordisco back again with another great chess video for you. This is from the 21st Russian Team Championship for Men 2014. It's a great game between Jobava and Peter Svidler. Svidler is black. Peter is the 7-time Russian champion. Let's get to it. It's a fairly long game, so it's too much time gabbing here. We'll go through some of the opening quickly. As you can see, it's going to be really something here. This is a very interesting position. Now we are on move 9 and nothing's been captured yet. Queen to c2 for Jobava. Svidler goes bishop b7. You start seeing a lot of maneuvering now. Knight to f1, h6, knight to g3. That reminds me of a Real Lope Spanish opening where you bring the knight back around from b1. Goes here, here, and then here. Bishop f8, h3. Wants that guard, that g4 square. Knight to b8. Now the other knight's coming back around. Bishop b3, rook c, or excuse me, c5. Rook a to d1. Knight. Bishop c1. Getting the bishop out of the way. Don't know really why, to tell you the truth. Right now I've got my Fritz 13 computer on off screen. It's a tiny minute advantage for white. Queen to c7. Knight d2. Bishop c6. Bishop f3. d4. Do you realize now we're on move 18 and not a piece has been captured yet? Very unusual. Knight comes back again. g6. Knight c4. All this maneuvering around, they must have been using tons of time on their clock. Bishop g7. Knight. b5. Now here we are, move 22. Finally, a piece is captured. Bishop takes back. White's a little cramped here. Svidler's a great player. As black, 7-time Russian champion. That's no joke. You're lucky to win it twice. Really lucky, let alone 7 times. Knight to a3, chasing the bishop. Bishop c4. He wants to start advancing that pawn down, the a-pawn for black. Let's see how he works out for him. Knight again. Now remember, there were knights over here at one time. That's crazy stuff. a4. Bishop d2. Rook e to c8. I mean, white's so cramped. What else is he going to do? Rook a1. Knight f8. C takes. Hey, finally another capture. Hooray. Pawn takes. Black started to open up here a little bit. I think white's shows white having the advantage, but I don't know. Of course, I'm not a computer. Bishop b4. Knight back to e8. Guess he wants to keep that bishop on that diagonal. Rook e to c1. h5. Queen to d2. Queen to b8. Knight a5. I mean, look at this maneuvering. This is crazy. Can you imagine thinking of all these combinations? I'd be out of my mind. Bishop d7. Finally, a major piece. Queen takes. Let's recap here. Look at this position. I mean, look at white here. Look at these three minor pieces over on the end of the board. This bishop really has nowhere to go. And it's a white advantage. Go figure. Knight to c4. Now he's bringing the knights back around. Queen to b8. Bishop back to d1. Hitting the pawn. Bishop h6 hitting the queen. Queen to e1. The computer thinks that's better than if queen had taken. If you were wondering what would happen, queen takes. Knight to b3. Queen e1 check. King to h2. Queen takes f2. Knight takes. h4. Knight takes. And knight takes. Now they had to calculate all of that out, and that's a small advantage for black. Let's continue on. After queen to e1, knight to e6, bishop a4. I assure you it's a crazy ending. Crazy, crazy, crazy. You'll see. Knight to f4. It's got a 1 point advantage for white. He's up a pawn, but I don't know. All this white's pieces are on the queen side. Looks like black's mounting attack on the king side. We'll have to see how it works out. Bishop c2 to guard the pawn. Queen to c8. Queen to f1. If you're wondering what would happen if knight had taken e4, queen takes, queen to b1, queen takes, rook takes, bishop b5, and black's got a piece for 2 pawns with almost a 3 point advantage. After queen to f1, knight to f6, bishop d1, bishop takes. Now check this out now. Black thinks he's got a heck of an attack coming up here. Peter Svidler doesn't sacrifice for nothing. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes check, king to h1. And this is where I think Peter miscues. It's on move 41, so there wasn't a time control problem, because usually the moves go to 40 for the next time control. Computer calls for knight to g4. Just start bringing in his pieces. White's got about a 1.5 advantage. And after f4, it climbs dramatically to well over 2 points. If he had gone knight to g4, bishop e1, knight to f4, bishop takes, queen takes. It's an advantage on the computer for white, but how would you like to play this as white? Not me. After bishop to f4, bishop e1, knight comes up. Wrong order maybe. b4. Now you got to remember, black sacrificed a piece. There's a really quick mate here. If anyone had looked at queen takes, it goes knight checks, king, queen, bishop, knight, bishop, checks, knight, queen, king, knight checks, king e2, takes. They go through the whole entire thing here. And rook d1 mate. After b4, rook a6. Yeah, I'm sure they figured all that out, right? Rook to a2. Rook f6. Queen goes to g2. Now let's pause here for a second. White's got a piece for a pawn. You've got 1, 2, 3 minor pieces and the rook coming down. This queen is right in the line too on poor black king. And believe it or not, white's got almost a 3.5 point advantage. Bishop g5. It looks really bleak for white. b5. White's just not paying any attention. Craziness. Bishop h4. Moving in pieces closer. Bishop takes. H takes. b6. White's just continue moving. Rook takes b6. Knight takes. Queen to c1. Now Svidler is down a rook and a knight for 2 pawns. It's a lot of material. Queen to f1. Queen h6. And knight. And this is where Peter Svidler, 7-time Russian champion, resigns. He went for it. Got to give it to him. He probably went on instinct. Got all those pieces around White's king. He just couldn't finish him off. It's just one of those deals. Sometimes you're the pigeon, and sometimes you're the statue. And that's the way it is. Anyway, folks, I thought that was a great game. From the round 5 of the 21st Russian Team Championship 2014, the men. Anyway, folks, I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.